Okay, guys, we are here again. Please remember to subscribe to our channel. We are still with abnormal psychology, site 351. If I may add that, this is Dozie once again, and we would want to start with affective disorders. Affective disorders. Yeah, it's one of the disorders that is very popular, very prevalent in our society all over the world. Yes, so we look at it. They call it mood disorders, they call it affective disorders, and please remember, emphasis APA, the DSM-5-TR APA 2022 is, and remember I've said it in one of my videos, we as psychology students oftentimes mistake this APA, the DSM-5, with the other American Psychology Association. You know, we use, like in reference, APA, the 7th edition currently, 7th edition manual, APA, American Psychology Association. But please remember that when we are dealing with psychological disorders, this DSM-5-TR is by American Psychiatric Association, APA 2022, DSM-5-TR. Yes, I'm sure I've emphasized that enough. Now, we are going to talk about affective disorders, which they also call mood disorders. What are the affective disorders? They are disorders of affect, disorders of affect, disorders of mood. It's different from mood is different from affect, although they are the same. Now, watch what we are trying to do now. How are you feeling? Is different from should I say, how are you feeling, or what is the state of your mind? Should I use that? Like, if you watch, okay, I'm laughing, I'm happy, I'm looking, but if I look inward, what is the mood? How am I feeling? Right? They are synonymous. That's why we're looking at them together here. But they are disorders, mood disorders, or disorders of affect. That's what we are discussing today. According to DSM-5-TR, these affective disorders are disorders that in mood, problem in our mood, alterations in mood, mood disturbances, whether elevations or depressions. They elevate over excitement, everything, or down, feeling low key and everything, right? So these are the disorders of affect, and this, we understand that everybody have the right to feel sad when anything negative comes out, like failure in academics, or loss of loved ones, or some other things, right? Or situations in the country. And then now, it is not a disorder. It is normal to feel that way. It is only a disorder when it meets the criteria we have done before, right? Now, we are not going back to that general criteria by DSM-5. We will take them specifically. Now, when we talk about these affective disorders, I have said it, they show this problem in moods, whether over extreme excitement or extreme hypomanic, like low moods, right? So these individuals have this problem, which is manifest also in their body, in their physiology. There are several explanations. Maybe before the end of this course, I'll try to relate everything to the theories that we have done also. Maybe I'll do them one after the other. Now, under the affective disorder, we should remember, yes, by DSM-5, there are many of them here. We have the bipolar 1 and bipolar 2 disorders. That is one. We have the cyclothymic disorders. That is number 2. We have the major depressive disorder. That is the one you know very well. We call depression. Then we have the persistent disorder. Then we have the mood. We have disruptive mood dysregulation disorder. That is a DMDD. Yes. Then we have premenstrual dysphoric disorder. That is PMDD. We have substance/medication induced disorders. They are here. Then we have bipolar disorder, unspecified bipolar disorders. They are under here. So these are the disorders under affective disorder. No, not unspecified. Please, they are. It is called bipolar disorder due to other medical conditions. Yes, bipolar disorder, bipolar and related disorders due to other medical conditions. Yes. So these are the disorders under affective disorders: the bipolar 1 disorder, bipolar 1 and bipolar 2, the cyclothymic, the major depressive disorder, that is the depression we know, or unipolar. Then we have the persistent depressive disorder, the disruptive mood dysregulation disorder. We have the premenstrual dysphoric disorder. We have the substance/medication induced disorder. Then we have bipolar related disorder due to other medical conditions. These are all of them. Yes, so we take them one after the other. Like I promised, I'll do bipolar 1 disorder and I'll do depression. Yes, MDD. So the bipolar 1 disorder, otherwise known as the manic disorder, it has, when we hear bipolar disorder, the word bi is two, pole is 2 poles, right? 2 extreme poles, like a goal post. Yes, yeah. So you understand that this, remember we say all affective disorders are problem in mood. Now bipolar disorder, bipolar 1 in actual sense, or call it manic disorder, do not concentrate, or it's not a disorder that happens in one of the ends, but in 2 of the ends. Vacillation, the key word is vacillation, alternating or moving from one pole to the other. Extreme low, extreme high, extreme low, extreme high, and at some point normal. You see the person normal, before you know, he runs so low, depressed, and the next time you are seeing the person so agitated, so excited. Yes. So according to DSM-5 TRAPA 2022 in bracket, the people with bipolar disorder manifest these vacillations across these 2 ends. Extreme. Most times you see extreme manic or mania, extreme excitement, and before you know it, they are normal, and before you know, they are depressed, and they are going down that depression state. Extreme low, and they cannot communicate with anybody, don't want to do anything. Before you know, they are very happy, they are doing this. So these persons, these symptoms, the symptoms is always with this exaggerated self-importance. They want to engage in, they are always engaging behavior that have harmful consequences. You see them go taking loan for countries that have loan access. They take loan that their family members may not be able to pay in the next 5-10 years, and some of them will take it and go to hotel and start taking engaging in harmful sex, unprotected sex that may even lead to HIV, right? So a lot of behavior that can lead to, that have harmful consequences, they undergo it. And so these are very inflated. Most times they can't sleep. Most times they keep talking. They cannot talk. They cannot stop talking. They have this pressure to keep talking. So this is the symptoms you will see while talking about bipolar. Over the prevalence of bipolar, 1% of the world population has bipolar. Yes, 1%. That is 1 out of 100 persons have bipolar, and it's across gender, but even across socioeconomic status. This one is not a sickness of the poor or the rich. It's mostly, although research has also shown, it's mainly people with across that or around that low economic status. So that is the prevalence of bipolar. Now, the DSM-5. DSM-5 criteria, please, is very important. It's different from when you have listed the disorders. Now we are talking about the DSM-5 criteria. Remember, criteria, we do it by A, B, C. But when you are listing the symptoms under this DSM criteria now, you list them by 1, 2, 3. So now, the DSM-5 criteria. Criteria A, elevated mood and elevated mood lasting about they call it elevated mood as increased goal-directed activity that lasts about 1 week. This is not a disorder you may have to wait till the last 6 months before you say, okay, it's not a disorder. No, 1 week. If you see it often throughout that 1 week and everything, you know that it's a problem, right? So elevated mood and increased goal-directed activity. That is for criteria A. Now, criteria B, watch it. They say that at least 3 out of the following should be present for that 1 week. Not majorly all of them. You mustn't see all of them, but at least 3 out of this must be present for that 1 week before you say this is bipolar. Number 1, there is inflected self-esteem or grandiosity. This is what you write. They don't explain it. You don't need to explain, but I'm only explaining for the purpose for understanding. So we understand what is grandiosity. Now they feel this exaggerated self-importance. I have the power to drag the sun down. I have the life of, in fact, if anything happened to me, the president of America will die. All those kind of grandiose beliefs, right? So criteria 1 says, number 1 of the symptoms that may be present says inflected self-esteem or grandiosity. 2, decreased need for sleep. 3, more talkative than usual, or pressure to keep talking. Yes, that is number 3. Then 4, flight of ideas. As reported by self or this is a flight of ideas or subjective experience that thoughts are racing. That is that 4. Flight of ideas or subjective experience that thoughts are racing. That is your thinking something is running. Yes, that is that. Excuse me, sorry for that mistake. Is number 5. Number 5 is distractibility as reported by self or observed by others. Distractibility, there is this distraction. Then number 6 says increased goal-directed behavior or psychomotor agitation. Increased goal-directed behavior or psychomotor agitation. Then number 7, if I'm correct by my numbering, is excessive involvement in behaviors that have high potential for harmful or painful consequences. Excessive involvement in behaviors that have high potential for painful consequences. Yes. So that's, and these are the, then that's criteria B, right? Criteria C says symptoms or disorder is substantial enough to cause significant impairment in social, occupational, and academic functioning of the individual. Then criteria D says disorder is not attributed, or symptom is not attributed to any other medical substance or medical condition. Then the criteria E says disorder is not best explained by any other psychological disorder. Significant impairment to social, occupational, academics. D, not symptoms are not attributed to any other medical condition. And E, disorder is not best explained by any other psychological disorder. These are the criteria, and this is bipolar 1. Yeah, we often diagnose bipolar with a Young Mania Rating Scale. We have okay, Young Mania Rating Scale. This is not for this course though. You don't need it. I'm trying to remember them, but that is, by the way, that is the one I can remember right now. Young Beck Depression Inventory can also be used for that, for this, because it's also a mood disorder. So this is for bipolar. For the next video, we'll continue with the next affective disorder, which is depression, the major depressive disorder. Thanks for watching, and see you on the other side.